since he's walked on this longer road on the 21st of October. I'm just gonna keep waiting now. I'm supposed to be leaving for Canada, and I'm not going. This buck is unbelievably huge. I've been hunting for the last 2 years. I got his sheds. I got thousands of pictures of him. I just hope I can seal the deal here pretty soon. I don't think he's gonna make it through the gun season, so I have everything ordered for 14.50. Hunting all day. Today we have gorgeous, beautiful weather. Absolutely pouring out. Weatherman said I'm supposed to stop at 6 o'clock. Pretty much the only reason why I went today. And I got the day off and I don't feel like sitting in my bed doing nothing. Well, today is day 14. It's windier than us on a gun. I like hunting in the wind, but today is a little overboard. It's November 5th. Junk. Put that down in your calendar of Field and Stream days not to hunt. Can't see a deer. No deer yet. Just a beautiful day out here. Absolutely gorgeous. Like 35 degrees, 15-20 mile per hour wind, pouring rain. And I got 1 hour, 8 more hours of sitting. Took a break from sitting in my chair for a little bit because I'm sick of the chair so wet that it's soaking through my rain pants. So I might just stand the rest of the day and see. Well, today's day 17 of my adventure for Tinkles. Definitely sitting out in the rain yesterday. Made me sick today, which I figured it would, but that's it. But he got killed, so story of my life. Every nice buck I hunt normally ends up like that. So a little bit of change of plans. Don't have enough time to go to Canada, and I'm running low on vacation, so I'm after that 10-pointer that I passed earlier in the year, probably like 140 inch. I saw him this morning, grunted at him, bleated at him, got him to turn, came directly right at me. And then he decided to circle me instead of coming right in, so he circled me, got downwind of me, and definitely smelled me. Didn't snort or anything, but he knew something was up and got out of here, so I climbed down a little bit ago. See if there's any way I can set up anything in these trees around me where I've seen them the last couple times. And there's pretty much absolutely nothing, so it would mean me having to spend the rest of the day clearing something out, and I don't know if I really want to spend November 9th night in my tree stand, but trying to build another tree stand. So I also had a nice bucket check trail cameras, had a main frame, he's got 6 on one side with a drop tine and 4 on the other, so a 10-pointer, but he's dandy too, I'd shoot him, so I don't know what's going on. No, this stand, I thought was a really great stand, but I've yet to see any deer come right down. This freaking hardwood little nut. It's ridiculous. There's a creek bottom and like a swale that comes down. Right there you see the marsh grass. And I'm on a high point, and then there's the creek bottom. What they like. And I got the river behind me. There's this swale with the river, and I knew that they bedded in there, but I figured that they'd still come up on this high ground when they're coming back and forth, and they haven't done it all. It's ridiculous. It wasn't so much work trying to pull these tree pegs out of this maple tree. I know how much it took me to get them up here. I must be up almost 35 feet. It's a leaper. I'm actually scared to come in and out of this stand. I'm happy every time I get in and every time I hit the ground, so I don't know. Getting pretty frustrated. Boys and girls, after a pretty rough season so far, finally sealed the deer here. Well, I sealed the deer here, but I sealed the deal here too. Zodiac and I sat all day in the pouring rain. It finally just broke. Didn't see much of anything. I saw one little buck in the donut farm this morning. I lit a scent stick and I was screwing around on my phone trying to text Zarnik to see where he wanted me to pick him up. And all of a sudden I heard a noise to my left. It's super windy. I look, I see a buck coming through, and it looked pretty nice. So I got my gun up and I started reaching for a video camera. But he was only 20 yards away. And I was sitting there debating if I wanted to shoot him or not. He's sitting there in opening. I know the wind's blowing right at him, so I didn't have much time. It was either shoot or he's going to take off. And he turned, looked at me, and I pulled the trigger. And I was hoping that I didn't regret it when I got up to him. And oh my God, I'm an idiot. I would not have pulled the trigger on that thing. It's probably close to 150 inches, 13-pointer. He's got split broad tines, and probably close to at least a 20-inch spread, if not more. So unbelievable. I guess it just shows what can happen if you put enough time in. Sooner or later, your efforts are rewarded. So one in the book this year. Now I got about 7 days of hanging in the hotel room or scouting for Zarnik, whatever he wants me to do. So go back to truck and start getting this bad boy out here. Shoot to kill. Boys and girls, once again, the Savage has done its job. We are on our annual trip that Zarnik and I always go on. Scouted a lot down here in spring. I was going to sit in my normal stand, but a guy put a ladder stand about 20 yards away from where I normally sit, so I went to my other stand, and it was been pouring rain all day. I saw a doe and a fawn right at first light and a little buck at noon. Everybody else cleared out. Chris and I braved the elements with the rain and the thunderstorms, and I lit a scent stick at about 1:30 or so when I heard a noise come from behind me. It's super windy today. And I look and I could see this side of his rack coming through, and he was only about 20 yards away, and I reached for a video camera, but I knew he was going to catch me or he was going to smell me because the wind was blowing right at him. So I grabbed my gun, he stepped out in my shooting lane, and I thought about not taking him because it's the first day. And he turned and looked at me, and I realized he had a pretty big spread, and here we haven't seen much, so I'm glad I pulled the trigger. It's always nice when they get a lot bigger when you get up to them. But he's got about, I would say, close to a 20-inch spread. Super long main beams. I'm guessing probably
22s, 23, 24 maybe, and probably close to a 20-inch spread. Nice little kickers, and he's got split broad tines to make him a 13-pointer. So Savage did good. Once again, we hunted hard and we shot to kill, and these are the results. Put a lot of time in this year, so it feels good to finally put something underneath my belt.
Not the biggest buck I've ever shot down here, but it's cold. That's like the 5th buck I saw today, all 8-pointers. Guaranteed, positively, that's the same buck I passed last year, and he didn't get any bigger. He's about the same size. He's a 3-year-old, so I toasted him. And I tried my hardest to try to get some good film on it. It ain't easy going in between these trees, but I got a lot of work ahead of me. Usually I wouldn't shoot a buck like that down here, but he didn't get any bigger, and it was a good hunt. So it'll be fun to get him out here. This morning I'm sitting up in Michigan here for a big Dominator spiker. This is about as big as they get up here. December 30th. I made myself an igloo blind here yesterday. It's about like 20 or 30 below zero tonight. It's pretty cold, but should get the deer moving early. I got a soybean field in front of me, but it's pretty well wiped out. Most of the food around here right now is wiped out. 1952 Alaskan recurve. Tonight I'm hunting a very familiar spot. It's pretty much where I spent all of my bow season this year chasing after. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I'm finally over it. Tinkles. A 190 class 14-pointer that got killed on me the day that he walked by me first. First time I ever saw him. So, well, boys and girls, tonight I'm hunting the ground blind. And I've hunted once, and my dad hunted it once. It's been unsuccessful so far. There's some good trails coming through it, but a lot of the food here is wiped out, so it's kind of sketchy. I actually have a really good spot, but it's a clamor sun and it's pretty high in a tree. I was going to go there tonight with my longbow because I would really like to be able to kill one more deer here for meat before the season closes in the next couple of days. So yeah, I opted out of it. I said, what would Grandpa Zip do? What would Grandpa Kenny do? I know what they do. They take the Bear 1952 Kodiak recurve and say, we're going to go put some meat on the table for the family. So I said, well, if they can do it, so can I. Kelly is underneath a rough. I'm next to her in a tree stand that the rough is pitched my direction, so she gets to be nice and comfortable and sleep while I sit here and watch deer and get some. If you can get a nice easy rest on them, put it right there and take them, okay? Yep, if you want to. Just take your time. Tell me what happened today. Okay, here we go. You're on camera. Tell me your story, Kaylee. What happened today?
So the 5-point buck came in because Jake was rattling the little rattlers there.
Those little rattlers.
And then the
What
boat
were you
came
doing
in.
when I was rattling?
I was sleeping.
Okay.
It's pretty fun.
How was the weather this morning?
It was rainy, and Jake got poured on. Yeah. So then the boat came in, and it was feeding for a little bit. And then it came out of the grass over, like, here. Like, right there. Came in, and it came out. And then Jake told me to get the gun ready, so I got the gun ready. Shot it about, like, behind you. And then I shot. And I shot, I think, in the spine, and it fell over and it kept flopping around trying to get out. And I couldn't get out. I got out once and then it scooted over here. So then I shot again and it hit the grass. And then I shot another time and it bounced off the grass and hit him.
Well, you can't beat that. Here's the stand we were sitting in.
Send a note to Carly.
And it was roughly about 97 yards.
Send them a note.
Not bad for Kaylee the killer.
Send her a picture.
Once again, she capitalized, so congrats, Kaylee.